All right, today we are pulling back the curtain on one of the most common and honestly, one of the weirdest creatures your pet might ever host. We're talking about an internal freeloader with a survival strategy that is just bizarre. Let's dive into the secret life of the dog tapeworm.
So, if you're a pet owner, let me ask you, have you ever really thought about what might be going on inside your furry best friend? Because there's a freeloader out there that has absolutely perfected the art of hiding in plain sight. It's a master of survival, living right under our noses.
The creature we're talking about is officially called a cestode, but you and I know them as tapeworms. And their whole deal is pretty simple, really. They're internal parasites, long and flat, and they just hang out in your dog's intestines, soaking up all the good stuff. Okay, let's really get into this. To understand the tapeworm, you got to appreciate just how strange it is. I mean, it's a true master of minimalist survival, almost like an alien living right inside our pets.
You know, what's really wild is what's missing. A tapeworm has no mouth, no stomach, no digestive system whatsoever. Think about it. It's living in a sea of pre-digested food in your dog's gut, so it just absorbs everything it needs right through its skin. It's basically outsourced its entire digestive system to its host. How efficient is that?
So how does a creature like this even work? Well, let's take a closer look at its strange anatomy, because this is a body built for one thing and one thing only: survival and reproduction.
First, a little bit of context. Tapeworms are split into two main groups. You've got the more basic ones, the Cotyledota, which just use simple little grooves to hang on. But the ones we're focused on, the Eucystoda, or true tapeworms, are way more advanced. They evolved these powerful suckers and rows of sharp hooks to literally anchor themselves into the intestinal wall. Believe me, once they latch on, they are not letting go. Okay, so here's how this crazy body is put together. It has three main parts. Up front, you have the scolex. That's the anchor with all those hooks and suckers. Right behind that is the neck, which is basically a non-stop factory, constantly making new body segments. And the rest of the body? That's the strobila, which is just a long, detachable ribbon of individual segments called proglottids. And each one of those is its own little reproductive machine.
And this is the absolute key to its whole existence. Each tapeworm is a hermaphrodite. That means every single one of those little segments has both male and female parts. Its entire body is just a factory, and its only job is to churn out more and more egg-filled segments. That's it.
So if your whole body is designed to just make eggs, you've got to have a way to get those eggs out into the world, right? Well, this is where the tapeworm's great escape plan kicks in.
The process is called apolysis. The oldest segments at the very end of the line, which are now totally packed with fertilized eggs, they just break off. These little segments can actually move on their own, and they exit the dog in the feces. And this is exactly what pet owners sometimes see, these little things that look like grains of rice. Once they're outside, they dry up, burst open, and release thousands of eggs into the world.
But here's the catch. Those eggs can't just infect another dog. Nope. To complete their journey, they need a middleman. They need an accomplice to play a crucial role in their life cycle. Now, different tapeworms use different accomplices. The most common one in dogs, Dipylidium canem, its partner in crime is the flea. Others use rabbits. But look at that last one. Echinococcus granulosus. Its intermediate hosts can be sheep, or even humans. Yeah, that one is a whole different ballgame and a serious health risk to people. So let's stick with the most common one, the flea connection. It all starts with a tiny flea larva, maybe hanging out in your dog's bed or deep in the carpet. It eats a tapeworm egg. Inside that flea, the egg hatches and develops into its next infectious stage. So as that flea grows up into an adult, it's carrying this hidden parasitic passenger. And here's how the whole thing comes full circle. A flea jumps on your dog, it bites, the dog gets annoyed, turns to bite or lick the spot, and swallows the flea. That's it. That's all it takes. The hidden passenger has reached its final destination, and a brand new tapeworm infection is about to begin. Okay, so now that we understand the tapeworm's whole secret life, we can talk about what it actually means for our dogs and, more importantly, how we can fight back and break this cycle for good.
So what's the real harm here? Well, in a lot of cases, you might not see any symptoms at all. The tapeworm's just stealing a few nutrients. But sometimes you might see things like diarrhea, or maybe your dog's coat looks a little rough, or they seem low on energy. And that classic scooting behavior, that's often caused by the irritation from those little egg packets making their escape. In really rare, heavy cases, they can even cause a blockage. So how easy is it for this whole thing to get started? Well, it just takes one. Your dog swallows a single infected flea, and that is all it takes for a new tapeworm to set up shop. Just one.
So, how do we break the cycle? It's actually pretty logical once you know the journey. First, and this is the big one, you have to control the accomplice. Consistent, year-round flea control is your #1 weapon. Second, keep the environment clean. Picking up dog poop right away gets rid of the egg source. Third, try to stop your dog from scavenging on things like dead rabbits, which could be carrying other tapeworm types. And finally, of course, talk to your vet. They can help you come up with the best deworming and prevention plan.
When you boil it all down, it comes back to this one simple idea. To really protect our pets, we have to understand the parasite's journey, from the gut to the flea and all the way back again.
So now you know. You know the secret life of the dog tapeworm, how it survives, how it travels, how it completes its mission. The only question left is, what are you going to do about it?